Hey, yo, Andy here, and this is Andy's Comic Stash. And before I start this video, just to let you know, I do have an announcement, just a small little announcement towards the end, so be sure to hang out all the way to the end of the video. Once again, I just want to say thank you very much for the love and support that I've been getting on these two videos. I'm still seeing your comments, I'm still seeing your likes, I'm still seeing the views. I'm getting there, guys! And don't forget to click the like button and subscribe, and tell your friends. On the last video, we talked about Marvel and DC being the two pillars of comic books, but this week we're going to talk about indie comics. Most indie publishers have more of a wider range of stories, whether it be horror, drama, science fiction, western, romance, and sometimes superhero stuff. Definitely more commonplace. So take my experiences for an example. The first few comic books, and for the longest time, was always Marvel and DC. So Batman, Superman, Captain America, just a lot of superhero stuff. But I'm not trying to ding it down in any way. I'm not trying to ding it down. However, the repetitive story just got a little too dull for me at that point. For instance, Captain America's in jail again. Batman is broke again. The Justice League has been infiltrated again. See where I'm going with this? I just kind of needed something new, something fresh, something I haven't read before, maybe new characters on top of that. One of the earliest indies I started reading was YouTube. Don't put me on your backlogs when I say this. But the title is actually called Bitch Planet. Reading that book really opened up a lot of genres for me. That book in particular had a lot of politically driven topics. Sometimes they were a little bit over exaggerated. Regardless though, it was a break from superhero stuff. I'm like, oh wow, I need to read more of stuff like that. Let's read more. Later on throughout the years, I started reading Invincible, Walking Dead, Bitterroot. And for my science fiction fix, I dove pretty hard into Heavy Metal Magazine. That's a story for another video at a later time, I promise you. Beyond those points, I started finding myself a new home, but I never turned my back on Marvel or DC. I considered it more like a break from the superhero stuff. It was just a break. So wrapping this up in one bundle, our first and only book this week is going to be The Closet by James Tynion. Or is it Tynion? So I just looked up the last name really quick. It's Tynion. I didn't really find out till we were putting the books together, getting ready for new comic book day at work. But once I saw the cover and on the corner it had Tynion's last name, I'm like, oh. And then I saw The Closet on there. I'm like, it's a scary book, yes. And for those that don't know Tynion writing, at least indie writing, he writes horror. Something's Killing the Children much? I did give it a skim through my phone, see how many issues it was going to be. It was going to be a 3-issue series. I'm like, oh, a 3-issue series. Hear me out. One-shots are fun, depending what kind of comic book it is. It's just not enough. I feel like it's way too packed. Like one-shot or maybe a 2-issue series, which is rare if it's 2-issue series, but they tend to be very packed in and rushed. Like I mentioned on my last video, short stories tend to be 5 to 7 issues, which is typical. I like it. It's standard. But a 3-issue series, I feel like it's just the right amount of content. Every issue is just jam-packed. One of the better examples for a 3-issue series was Black Label DC's Harleen. That was a 3-issue series, and that felt comfy. It had just enough content. To be fair, issue 1 just came out last week or 2 weeks ago, so it's kind of too soon to tell. But reading the first issue, oh my god, it was so good. I really don't want to spoil this one just because it is a 3-issue series, but regardless. So we start the story off with a dude at a bar, looking confused, looking tired, looking just worried, talking to the bartender, giving the mood to the story. Homie's mentioning that he has just kind of like a very murky past in his town and he just can't wait to move with his wife and kid somewhere far away. Apparently Homeboy was supposed to be at, I'm assuming, a hardware store to pick up tape. But I guess on his way to pick up the tape, he went to a bar and got a little... Just kind of sets in this depressive state. At the same time, he kind of tells the bartender about how his kid is scared of the dark, monsters type thing. Once homie comes back home, he tries to tell his wife just a story on his way to the store, but I mean, the wife already smelled him, and the wife's like, don't give me that. I know where you were. What the heck? By that point, they're having a proper just argument about things, you know, bringing up past this, past that. Just kind of like unhinged relationship, like that needs to be patched up. I'm just kind of reading it. I'm like, yeah, she's having this problem. Oh, he's having this problem. It's obvious he's going through this. And girl, don't mention that. Boy, did you really say that? Like, I have my glasses equal to just like, As the minuscule yet pretty awkward and scary argument is happening, you got the little boy, Jamie, in his room in the dark with some boxes already packed up, you know, they're getting ready to move. But he just can't sleep. He's super scared. Oy. Those pages really give the vibe where it put me back as a child, being very scared of the dark and thinking there's something gonna crawl up out of my bed, at the bottom of my bed, or in the closet, or from the window. It's good. And just when you think it's maybe all in his head and all in his imagination as he's hugging this little, you know, little stuffed animal, you see the lit closet. You see a figure. Cuckoo-y. And I'm going to leave it there because I'm not going to ruin it. Obfuscate, you got to pick that book up, homie. You got to pick that up. But hopefully it set the mood in for you. Granted, it's only going to be a 3-issue series, but so far it's got a strong beginning. So I really have hopes that it's going to be a good middle and just a really crazy ending, knowing Tynion. And to rope it back into what we were talking about as far as indies, that's what I'm talking about, the excitement of something new, something fresh. This one in particular I just happened to choose was horror. I actually do love horror, so if you love your horror, you might want to pick that one up. The best part is there's not much of a commitment because it's only going to be a 3-issue series. And as I promised from the beginning of this video, announcement time. I'm getting good at this. I got magic. In about a week, I'm going to be traveling with Legends Comics and Games to Heroes Con at Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be having a booth there, selling our stuff and just representing our shop from Fresno all the way over there. I'm going to be helping, like, running the booth, like selling stuff. The same thing I do at my job, just far away. To rope it back into what I want to do with this channel, I kind of want to make a video out of the trip when we go to North Carolina. It's probably going to be more of a vlog-ish type thing. And to finally end this video, I just want to end it off with thank you for your patience on this thing I'm doing, this YouTube thing I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure out how to like position the camera, to say the least. I'm still trying to find out how to work this this thing here. Also got my light here, kind of glares right here. You know what I mean? I'm still working for the lighting on this. Clearly, I'm also trying to work out how to do my background. I'm still learning a lot of things. At the end of the day, I really wanted to do this, and I'm going to start it as organic as possible. So again, thank you very much for your patience on that. Well, this is the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching. Again, be sure to like and subscribe. The link to support my channel is going to be on the description below. And here's the question for this video. What's your favorite comic book convention? Or have you ever been to a comic book convention? And like I always say at the shop, read comic books, trades save lives, and support your local comic book shop. Orale vatos, I'll see you later.